Welcome to your November energy forecast. I don't do them every single month. I do them when I am led. Let us begin by my own sovereignty. This signal is sovereign. May I see what serves, speak what frees, and remain untouched by what is not mine. I ask for these messages to come through clear and clean. And when you take what resonates within your being and let go of what doesn't. The cards that my higher self said were best for November is Beyond the Myria, Moonology, and Messages from the Fairies. Now, sometimes I am guilty of this, and in years past, I was a very judgmental human being. And I've since moved through that low vibrational emotion and habit. But in that lower frequency, I would judge beings based on their actions, based on what they said and did and process things in a different way than how I process things. Many times they were fairies. I did not know that at the time. I've since evolved, as many of us do. But what I will say is it's not an insult or something to be ashamed of to recognize your fairy lineage. It's been my experience that about 90% of the population has fairy energy, and it actually explains so much. And I'll link in the comments of this video and in the description a video I did about fairy energy because it really does explain a lot of today's cultural norms. And to me, it was an eye opener. So might want to enjoy that. Let's get started with Beyond Lemuria. If you've never seen a reading of mine, I tap into the energy of the collective. If I did a personal reading for you, it's not one-on-one on camera, but it's energy to energy. So I tap into your energy body, bypassing the ego and the mind. And I really get to the heart of in the now moment, what is your energy signature saying? What is the messages? What is the congestion? What is being processed or not being processed? So I tap into the energy of the collective. Lots of us resonate with Lemuria for sure. Remove all negative energy from this deck. This is a beautiful deck created by Izzy Ivy. She painted every single image that you see depicted in her cards. So it's a really, really beautiful deck. Has a lot of symbolism and a lot of meaning for many of us that have had those Lemurian and Atlantis lives. So let's see what the energy shows us today. Calling on the angels, the archangels, the ascendant master, source creator, Mother Sophia. Tapping into the collective energy for today as we approach November. This energy oracle reading is for the month of November. No specific day, no specific time. Please let the messages come through that are highest and best for the collective. And I do a 3-way split, and then I ask my higher self, is this the card for the collective? 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 And I usually do 4 cards per deck. Endless opportunities. Endless opportunities. I don't know if you can see or not, but in each bubble, there's a butterfly. And butterflies, one symbol of butterflies is that they symbolize transformation. They symbolize growth and evolution. When we have these endless bubbles around us, it is endless opportunities. We do transition and transform multiple times throughout our lifetimes, multiple times in a day, to be honest with you. Each time we have the opportunity to have a choice, which most of us have free will choices that we've given those choices away, but that's for a different day. When we have the choice to make, no matter what the choice is, there's always two options on the table. Does this serve my highest and best good and the collective, or does this serve only myself and not the collective? So are you in service to others? Or are you in service to self? Is this a higher consciousness choice? Is this a lower consciousness choice? You can look at either of those scenarios. The choices are still the same. Higher consciousness or lower consciousness. So we always have the choices in our day-to-day lives to have endless opportunities. If you have been someone struggling to get out of a rut because your bad habits, you now may see as bad habits. They are non-serving. You're doing the same thing over and over and over again because you've always done it, but it no longer feels like what you should be doing. Have the courage to change. Change one thing in your day-to-day life. One thing, one aspect, that one thing that's been a drag, and see how it changes your energy. And I mean change it like in a forever kind of way. Make the change, be the change, and you will see change in your life. This is a big misconception. Lots of people want their lives to change, but they don't want to change anything about their life. It really doesn't work that way, but we have endless opportunities to allow our choices to actually dictate that we have a transformational existence. Throat chakra, express your truth. Merkaba at the bottom, and Merkabas are energetic vehicles. So when you are energetically moving, what kind of movement? It doesn't matter. When you are energetically moving, whether it's going from low to high, from Earth to Mars, from surface Earth to inner Earth, it doesn't matter. You move by way of your Merkaba. Everyone has a Merkaba. You can also co-create a Merkaba with a group and have group travel. Transformation butterfly, again, seeing a theme. We're only 2 cards in. Whenever you choose to stand in your truth and exercise the energy through your throat chakra, that means you are not silent and you don't hold the truth inside. You are literally going to create a Merkaba of movement because you're moving the energy out of your throat chakra. This is going to allow you to change and transform the energy of the moment. And in my own way, I see this as speak your truth, move through the truth, transform, and you gain more freedom. The more we can stand in our truth, and that is sovereignty, truth, the more freedom you're going to obtain. And in the process of that, things are going to transform. They're going to look differently. When we start to speak our truth, people that liked us because we agreed with everything that came down the pike are going to turn away from us. And that is okay. They were there for a reason, and now they are no longer needed. Let them go. However, if you are always holding your truth in and you are consistently having some throat symptoms, perhaps it's progressed all the way to having like a thyroid diagnosis. Maybe you're on medication. Maybe you're being told that there's something wrong with your vocal cords or nodules or anything else that's been labeled with a medical diagnosis. I ask you to do something very, very simple, and that is find a safe space wherever that happens to be, whether it's outside on a walk, in your bathroom, in the shower, like somewhere you're safe, where you can speak your truth without repercussion, and you start to speak every single thing you've been holding inside. Do that. When you're able to literally speak your truth, you start to make sense of the own chaos that's been living within you. And that chaos energy starts to come out of your throat chakra. And when it does, you're releasing this congested, toxic energy, and you will see that your throat health improves dramatically. We all have to do that in our lives. We have to get to a place where, number one, do we know our truth? What is it? And once you know it, and I mean know it within the bones, the marrow, the soul, have the courage to speak it, because that is where you transform into a true free society and a free being. Shine your light, angel number 44 on this one. And you're going to see like she's like this prism of light all around her, fractionated all around. When you speak your truth, you're also shining your light, right? Because what comes through your throat chakra is energy. And that energy transforms and transmutes other energy. So if you've been fed your whole life things that you now know to be untrue, you filter that and you transform and transmute that by speaking the truth of your own knowledge, your gnosis, your inner knowing out. And that is you shining your light. And when you shine your light, you become the beacon in the darkness, right? You're now the watchtower. You're now the one giving light to other people who have been drowning in lies. Do not be afraid to shine your light. Your light is what keeps us realizing where darkness is. Evolution, absolutely. So in here, you'll see the DNA strands, and it kind of, there's multiple DNA strands all through this. And there's a mermaid and her tail here, and she's underwater, and there's a starfish. So a 5-point star. So whenever you realize that you have endless opportunities to take your power back, to make higher consciousness choices, and then once you start to do that, it leads you to your truth, and you're able to speak your truth and exercise that toxic energy of lies and deceit through your throat chakra, and you release that congestion in your body. That is whenever you are transforming your own life by shining your light. And that is whenever we evolve on a soul level. This all plays a very vital role in our ascension. And I've always said it takes a little bit of courage and a whole lot of faith. And that faith that you need to have is within you. You have to have faith within yourself, that whenever you speak your truth, you shine your light, you are proud of your evolution, that enables you to continue to do more. So you take it to the next octave. Now we're going to move to monology. Remove all negative energy from this deck. Monology is a deck I've had for a long, long time, but this is a replacement deck because my other one got lifted from my premises. Calling in the angels, the archangels, the ascendant master, source creator, Mother Sophia, Salah, and Solan, which is the soul of the moon and the sun. Highest and best good for the collective for the month of November. What is your message? Highest and best for the collective. And those are our 4 parts. Be bold and make the first move. And the moon is the cardinal moon. And you'll see this, hopefully you can see the color is really more of like a mauve, pinky color. And so when you read that, be bold and make the first move. What do you notice about a bold person? They speak their truth. They absolutely speak their truth. And when we move through that, we embody the Sophia energy. That's a rose gold type aura energy. And that's what I'm feeling here is be bold and make the first move. You may be the first person in your family, in your mom group, in your works friend circle to mention anything about speaking your truth, knowing your truth, realizing something that you thought was true your whole life, but now it's not. Be bold and make the first move because you never know how many people you're actually going to affect in a positive way, opening a door that they themselves are not courageous enough to do. Be bold and make the first move in life. Speak your truth, stand in it, and allow others to follow when you open the door. Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. Leo, Lyran, golden energy, lots of symbolism here. New moon is new beginnings. You will quickly realize that whenever you start to speak your truth and shine your light, What happens whenever you open a door and you turn a light on in a dark room? Everything in there becomes illuminated. And with illumination, you discover shadows. So, confidence is your key to success. When you begin to really dig in and do the shadow work of your journey, you're going to shine your light. And the more you shine your light, the more that you're going to see shadows. And in the depth of this card, there's light and dark, there's shadows and light. Shine your light, speak your truth, incorporate the shadows of your being because they are there to help you do what? Evolve. This is how we evolve. We shine our light. We open the door to the dark spaces where we've been putting all of our trauma and pain and heartbreak and confusion and depression for a really long time, thinking that if we just keep it tucked away in a room with the light off, it'll go away. It never goes away until you turn the light on and you start to work through the shadows. Confidence is your key to success. The more you're confident in your own light and energy, the more success you're going to have. If you get to a place where you have doubts, this is where you pause and you take a step back and you recenter and you reground and you go back to what you know to be true, which is your gnosis. But having a little bit of courage and a whole lot of faith is what takes you through your shadow work process. And this is how you evolve. Have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. When you have faith, I just mentioned that, you just can't make these things up. This is true energy coming through. When you have faith in your dreams, many of us see or feel or sense that our dreams are like out there somewhere. They're just out there in this liminal space. You don't know where those dreams come from or where they actually go to or how do they manifest. Have faith in your dreams. I invite you in this now moment to put your dreams on paper. Pull them in from that liminal space. Write some things down that have been in your soul for a very, very long time. It may be things that you've never even mentioned because the matrix world says that doesn't pay the bills or that's not how you're successful or some way or another it didn't check a box. So you never looked at it like it was a real dream. But if it makes your soul sing, it's real. It's real to you and it's worth your energy and it's worth your time. Have faith in your dreams. How can you have faith in a dream that you've never even had the courage enough to speak about? That's where you begin. That's your start. Many people that I encounter, they start on their journey and I ask them, what makes you truly happy? Who are you? And they don't know because they've given all their power away to systems and structures and the checklist that gets told to us, you have to do this in order to be successful. And they do that and they are successful and they're so unhappy. They're so unfulfilled because they have discounted what has made their soul come to life for a very, very long time. So now is the time to dig into that. What makes your soul sing? And if you don't know, that's where you start. You're very close to achieving your goal, the gibbous moon. So this is an image that I think we see quite often, that full moon image with the tops of the pines. You're very close to achieving your goal. I don't know what your goal is, but I will tell you that in the collective right now, a lot of energy is flowing toward achieving goals. So when you have the ability to achieve a goal personally, that affects you in your vortex, that affects your positive flow of energy in the people around you. But it also fans out from there. If you're successful and other people see that you're successful and doing something completely different, something that they never thought of, maybe you're someone who recognized what your dream was and it was completely out of character and people have been watching to see if you were going to fail, because let's be real, that's what the culture does. And they have seen you succeed and grow and become happier and more grounded and less materialistic and just a better, well-rounded human being. That is the goal of the collective, is to evolve into a happy life out of things that keep us feeling like a prisoner. And I believe that that's the message for the collective, because we've given so much of our power away to systems and a way of life that makes us feel empty inside. if your life does not fill your own cup up, your actions, your choices don't fill you up, how are they going to make anyone else feel full? You're trying to fill something from an empty space that does not work very well. You have to fill in your own being with so much love, so much compassion, healing, and kindness that it overflows from you into the collective. This is what I'm seeing transmute and the transmission of the collective right now, is that so much has happened in 2025. We're coming into November, and there's going to be a lot of talk about being thankful. What are we thankful for? Are we thankful for this and thankful for that? This is the time where I want you to look at yourself and ask the really tough questions. Am I thankful for me? Am I thankful? Am I grateful for who I am? And if you can't answer that honestly, that's where you begin. Now we're going to get the messages from the fairies. And again, fairy energy is prevalent. Lots and lots and lots and lots of people have fairy energy. It's not a bad thing, but it does take a little getting used to. And it can be rather chaotic unless you are really diligent about grounding and processing energy in a healthy way. So let's see. Move on negative energy from this deck. Calling in the angels, the archangels, the elementals, the dragons, the fairies, the pixies. What is our highest and best good message for November for the collective? Highest and best for the collective. Patience, please. What you're asking for is coming. Have patience, as there are unseen factors that need to occur first. And this right here like sums up our culture today. We encounter, and we're actually told and taught all these ways to instantly manifest everything right now. But your manifestation of something for you likely requires others to manifest as well along the way, or to let go of things along the way. So we all coexist together. Our energies are in a field, a vortex together, and we make our own decisions, but those decisions ripple through the collective. When you have something that is coming your way, it is not going to find you any sooner because you stomp your feet and you demand it. In fact, it's going to slow down. The laws of the universe dictate that a being that is in need is a noisy chamber, so full of noise that they can't hear their blessings. So quiet the mind, quiet the noise, go within, do your inner healing, and realize that when you are whole and complete on the inside of your own being, that is when the universe says, now they're ready. And yes, it is coming. Many, many, many people are on this journey right now. Autumn, how appropriate. In the fall season, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvest of abundance. Now, of course, when we hear abundance, because we're just a very materialistic culture, we think about money. But I want you to focus on something different. Our energy. Our energy is the actual currency of the universe. It's the only thing that's consistent. It's the only thing that cannot be destroyed. It can be transmuted and transformed, but not destroyed. So think about your abundance coming in the form of energy. If you are constantly feeling drained and you have zero energy after you do something with a specific being, person, place, or thing, it's time for you to recognize that you are giving your energy away to energy vampires, and they are making the best out of your energy into manifesting their life, and it leaves you on the vapors. Many, many, many people live their life this way. And they think they're told, they're taught, the more you give, the more you're going to receive. And that's really not true. You have to give in balance. If you're constantly pouring your energy into empty vessels, it's never going to come back to you. You have to heal that. You have to heal the need within your own being, because there's something driving you to consistently pour your energy into an empty vessel. There's something, it's usually ego driven, where you want the congratulations and the acknowledgments that you're going above and beyond and giving, giving, giving. And that feeds your ego, but it doesn't feed your soul. So the abundance will flow. You will be able to reap what you have grown, sown, and manifested. If you are healthy in your own being, that means that you have your own power. You've not given it all away. You obtain balance, where if you're feeling depleted, you don't say yes to anyone after that point. You know that you have to give yourself love and compassion and healing before you can help others. So this is a self compassion, self healing. Are you really doing where you can have abundance of energy, or do you just give it all away? Because if you're giving all your energy away, you're not going to have any abundance come back to you. You have to know your worth and ask for it to come back to you in an energetic way. And autumn is my favorite season. I just love it. I love the cool weather and the fires and the leaves and all the things. Drop a comment below on what you love. What's your favorite season? Practice, practice, practice. With daily practices, you can polish your skills and talents and increase your confidence. Now, we had confidence is your key to success. Anytime I have the same message from two different decks that come up in the same reading, we know this is a big energy spike at the time. If this was a person, one individual person, I would definitely, hone in on that. But this is for the collective. The collective is working on their confidence. The collective has a confidence problem. Now, that is different than ego. Ego talks without substance to back it up. Confidence is in your solar plexus. Confidence comes whenever you have the desire to do something and you have the courage to then try it. You try it and you succeed, or you fail, but at least you tried, and you build your confidence up. So this card is asking us to have practice, 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 because we understand that if we've never tried something before, odds are we're not going to be completely and totally successful the first time we try. But we keep practicing and we keep working at it, and we keep fine tuning and evolving our skills. Now, a skill that is coming through for us all to practice is discernment. Discernment is the opposite of ego and judgment. Discerning comes from your energy body. You discern if something is good or bad for you based on how your body responds to it. If your body is giving you the icks, like you feel nauseous and you feel like you got to run to the bathroom, or you have splitting pain in your head, this is not a place or person or thing that you need to be engaging with. Honor that. If your body feels chills and tingles and it kind of tickles and it feels warm and you have this rush of love over you, that is absolutely a person, place, or thing you should engage with. Knowing that and responding appropriately is how you practice your discernment and your skills. That's exactly how it works. So this whole reading is about getting to know yourself and then having the courage to follow through with what is highest and best for yourself. That one step, when you try it, and you may or may not succeed, but we're going to celebrate it because you at least tried. That's going to help build your confidence. The more you practice it, the more you're going to evolve on a soul level, and the more freedom and evolution in your being you're going to have. Final card of this reading. Holiday. The answer you're looking for can be found during a vacation, a retreat, or a holiday getaway. Now, I'm going to just intuitively speak here. This card is covered in purple and indigo. That means we got to get out of our head. I think the holiday is the holiday from your ego, the holiday from your mind. The mind is the most manipulated organ in our body. Second most manipulated organ in our body is our heart, because people play our hearts to their advantage, don't they? The one thing you can trust is your gut. The ancients called it the first brain. Take a holiday from your brain. So many big IQs out there are so entrenched in dogma and concrete science that they're missing the spiritual messages all day long. Take a holiday from your brain. Go out in nature. I do recommend that. Even if it's for 15 minutes, take your break and make it meaningful for your soul. Take your shoes off, put your feet on the ground, and just be. No noise, no phone, no messages, no scrolling. Just be. And let your truth rise up within you. And then ponder what your next steps are. Start journaling. Start asking questions. You can think of a question in your mind, depending on what your clear abilities are. The answer will drop right in. The problem is that we're so in our mind and our ego, we're asking for proof. Well, where did this come from? Where did that come from? People ask me all the time, how do you know that? What are your sources? My sources is Source Creator and Mother Sophia, creator of all life. So I feel like my sources are really the best source, and you're not going to find a citation for it. And I'm okay with that, because I go with my body and I go with what my soul, my bones, my body tells me is right or wrong, not my mind, not my ego. So take a holiday from the big brains out there. Take a holiday from your ego. If you can't take an actual holiday, you can take 5 to 10 minutes for yourself, and then spend time loving yourself. I recommend nature. This again says the answers you're looking for can be found during a vacation, retreat, or holiday getaway. I added in from your mind, from your ego, from your mundane existence that leaves you feeling completely empty and disempowered. Take a vacation from that. Do something different and see how it benefits your life. If you've enjoyed this reading and you may want one for yourself, just comment below. I can be contacted via email. And again, this is not a one-on-one, as in scheduling a date and time, because who has time for that? You will let me know. Decide if you want 3 decks or 4 decks. It's 33 US dollars or 44 US dollars for the energy exchange. And you get the video just like this is for your own personal reading. I hope you have a wonderful November, and I'll see you again next time.